What's going on YouTube? I'm Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. On this channel, I talk about fragrances as well as men's fashion. I give you some great fashion and style tips, man, and make sure you're looking your best every day. I definitely want to make sure that you're smelling your best. So if you like fragrance and fashion related content, I invite you to click subscribe and make sure you hit the bell icon as well to ensure you get notified anytime I upload new content on the channel. So guys, on today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about 5 fragrances from the house of Mancera that nobody really talks about. These are 5 fragrances that I really highly recommend that are really good, but again, they just don't really get the attention that a lot of the more popular fragrances from this house receive. So this is not going to be the fragrances that you're probably accustomed to hearing about. You're not going to hear about Cedrat Boisé, which of course, don't get it twisted. These are fragrances that I love, but again, they're just really popular, so a lot of people know about these. A lot of people try them. Cedrat Boisé, Instant Crush, Oud Lemon Mint. You're not going to really hear about those kind of scents today, but these are 5 that are kind of under the radar, but man, these are really, really good. So if you're interested in seeing what made this list, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into this list of 5 Mancera fragrances that you really need to try, or I recommend that you try. One of the things I love about the house of Mancera, it's a niche fragrance house, and I'm sure there's something for everybody if you take the time to really explore Mancera's collection of fragrances, because they have about 50, 60, maybe 80 fragrances in their portfolio, man. So you'd be hard pressed not to find something that you like. So I love the variety of fragrances that they have to offer in their portfolio. But also, when you talk about niche fragrances, they're one of the more affordable niche brands out there. Now, I recommend today that you head over to Twisted Lily, because they have all of the fragrances that I'm going to talk about available at Twisted Lily. You can find them there if you want to get a full bottle, or if you would like to sample these fragrances, you can find them over at Twisted Lily. And of course, you'll receive a discount, so I'm going to leave my link down below so you can check out these fragrances. So head on over to Twisted Lily and check out any of the fragrances that I mentioned on today's list. Now guys, the first fragrance up today, this one is a little bit newer, and I really like this fragrance, man. I'm tell you what's in it in just a moment, but this one is called Silver Blue. This one is called Silver Blue. And I haven't really heard anybody talk about this fragrance, but it's really, really good, man. It has labdanum in here. It has caramel. You guys know I love caramel. A little bit of oak moss and some spices, but God, this thing smells good. I don't really know how to describe it, man. It's an amber woody fragrance, so you got some nice spices in the opening of this. And then, of course, like I said, you got some oak moss, some patchouli. The star player to me is the caramel. It's just good, man. It's one of those kind of sweet, playful fragrances, but there's just enough of oak moss and spices there to keep it honest, so it doesn't go too playful. But man, this stuff smells absolutely fantastic. If any on the list, this is the number one, although I don't have these in order. But this is the one that I recommend the most. This is my favorite on this entire list. This stuff is phenomenal. And again, nobody's talking about it, so if you get it, you're gonna smell unique. Man, this stuff is good, man. This stuff is really good. So check this one out. Again, nobody's really talking about this. It was released in 2019, and this one is called Silver Blue. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list of these kind of under the radar fragrances from Mancera that I highly recommend you try. This one is phenomenal as well, and this one is called Oud Blue Notes. Oud Blue Notes. And I told you guys, I've talked about it before on the channel. I did mention this fragrance. And one of the things that I love about this, when it starts to dry down, the violet in here really reminds me a lot of Burberry Touch. So if you're a person like myself and you love Burberry Touch, this is kind of like a niche version of Burberry Touch. Beautiful scent, man. It has the star players in here to me, of course, the violet. It has orris. in here as well. And when it starts to dry down, you get a beautiful sandalwood note in here. Really kind of thickens this fragrance up, gives it that kind of creaminess that you are accustomed to from sandalwood. Nice, fresh and fruity on the opening. Again, an amazing scent. And of course, the theme of the list today, nobody really talks about these fragrances. Mancera has so many amazing offerings in their about 80 or so fragrance portfolio. And again, it's very easy for fragrances like this to kind of get lost in the shuffle and kind of be, dimmed by the light of the popularity of some of the more popular fragrances. But these fragrances that I'm talking about today, again, guys, are ones that are really, really good. And I think you really need to try these out. So put your nose on this one as well. From the house of Mancera, it's called Oud Blue Notes. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one is called Oud Cafe. Oud Cafe. Now, as the name indicates, you probably could envision this just from the name Oud Cafe. Yes, this fragrance has coffee in it, but it's a very unique coffee fragrance, just like Mancera. They do things in their own way. All of these fragrances have that Mancera DNA in the fragrances, and man, this is just a very unique coffee scent. Coffee, amber, and there's a beautiful fruity, mouth-watering kind of peach accord in the opening of this fragrance that really makes it unique. And this stuff is just absolutely phenomenal, man. One that nobody really talks about. I haven't heard a lot of people mention this. I have a few, but not many. Not as many people as I feel like should be talking about this scent, which is the case with most of the fragrances on this list, of course. But man, if you like a nice coffee scent, it's not overly coffee, but just the right amount. Again, a fruity touch from peach in the opening, and a nice, really warm amber combined with the coffee when it dries down, man. But this is one you definitely need to put your nose on, man, if you like coffee fragrances. And I recommend you try this one. It's called Oud Cafe. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, I'm going to read some of the notes in just a moment. Your mouth is going to start watering, and then you're probably going to go buy this fragrance. But this one, they did this kind of exclusive collection, and this one is called Jardin Exclusive. Jardin Exclusive. Listen, guys, I'm going to read some of these notes. It has pear, white peach. It has sandalwood. Stuff is gorgeous. This stuff is gorgeous, man. It's a little bit softer. It's a sexy scent. It definitely is a unisex scent. I can definitely see women pulling this off and rocking the heck out of this. But guys, you can wear this stuff too, man. I mean, this thing is phenomenal, guys. It has pear. It has white peach. It has vanilla. It has sandalwood. It has caramel. It has black currant. Mouth-watering fragrance. Like I said, women and men equally can pull this stuff off, but it's one that is such an amazing, gorgeous, mouth-watering scent. It just needs more people to wear this stuff and talk about it, because it really, really, really deserves it, man. So check this one out, man. This is an amazing fragrance right here from the house of Mancera. This is called Jardin Exclusive. All right, guys, and last but not least on this list of Mancera fragrances that you really need to try that kind of fly under the radar, this one right here, man, it's called Black Vanilla. It is called Black Vanilla. And as you can, of course, know from the name and the indication, there is vanilla in this scent, but it's so much more than a vanilla fragrance. The star player in this to me is the coconut. And you guys, I've been talking about coconut a lot lately. I really, really enjoy coconut in most fragrances. And oddly enough, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it doesn't really go too tropical, of course. And coconut is a note that really makes me get tropical. It makes me think summertime vacation, but that's not what this scent is. Just like some of the other fragrances I mentioned, this one has peach in it as well, and that's something I love about Mancera. They use the note of peach a lot in their fragrances, and a lot of other fragrance companies seem to kind of steer clear of using that note of peach for some reason, but this has peach in it. I love that in the opening. Of course, again, like I said, you get the vanilla in this. You get the coconut, and you get some sandalwood as it dries down as well. Just a few of the notes in here that really stand out to me when I just spray it. But guys, this is an amazing scent. It's a very, very unique scent DNA that you're gonna find with this one. But in this weird way, it still has the makeup in the genetics of a Mancera fragrance in a weird kind of way. Although when I look at the notes, it's a little bit, some of the notes are a little bit foreign from stuff that they typically use. But man, it's good. Definitely a sleeper. Definitely one, again, that I highly recommend you put your nose on, man, from the House of Mancera. Check this one out as well. This one is called Black Vanilla. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is my time. I hope you enjoyed this list. Again, if you are interested, head over to Twisted Lily. I will make sure I link it down below where you can go over and check out most of the fragrances that I mentioned on today's list. As always, I appreciate your time and your attention to these videos because, of course, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are right here with me, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget, remember to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or just may find it entertaining. Either way, it works for me. I'll take it because I'm your guy, the bow tie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell absolutely amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.